welcome back to another episode of Two Peas Potting, our bookish podcast with a side of judgment. And I feel like bookish podcast is kind of a stretch right now because we're not really talking about a whole lot of books.
I mean, but we're still on the topic of books because technically it is based off a book.
That's true. You're right.
We're talking about book-related stuff, you know.
That's true. You're right.
I think it counts.
I agree. And if you complain, I mean, we'll see it. But
I think Blaine is our HR person, so complaints can go to Blaine.
Complain to Blaine. But today we're talking about season 2 of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and it's also, I don't know what the book is called. It's Not Summer Without You.
So this is season 2, but it's still called The Summer I Turned Pretty. There is a nifty nod to the book, though, in the series, which I really liked.
Really?
Yeah, it's the book that Laurel wrote. It's called It's Not Summer Without You, about Susanna. Yeah.
I did not know that. I didn't even know the book name. Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that cute?
That is a good one.
Yeah, when I watched it for the first time, I was like, oh, I like that.
A nice little dash of, like, having the second book name without changing the name of, like, the show.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I mean, I feel like they could have done, like, The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You.
It was probably too much work.
Yeah, probably.
And I respect that.
That's fair, I guess. But, season 2.
So we both just finished season 2 today. It was both of our rewatching. She started before me. I started yesterday.
Hey. In my
No, you're busy.
Very long week.
I understand. No, you're busy. You're a working teacher. Like I've said before, I have all the time in the world because I'm not working right now. So I do nothing.
You're not doing nothing. You're doing research.
That's true.
It's for research purposes.
Yeah, research everything.
Everything. Oh, you're very knowledgeable.
Sometimes.
But, oh man, rewatching season 2, I forgot it jumped right in after Susanna died.
But yeah, it's like you don't skip a beat. That's how the book is too. You pretty much don't skip a beat.
Like, I was like, oh, we're gonna have a little bit, because it wasn't like right after the summer ended that she died. It was a while after. And so it was just like, ugh.
Yeah, so she dies 6 weeks before summer starts for them, which is rough. And leading into that, so the book starts off the same way, but seeing it in person, the daydream that Belly had in class felt
weird.
Yes.
So weird. Like,
so weird.
It felt like a stretch on the show's part to try to, like, build those, like, Team Jeremiah, Team Conrad right from the beginning of the season. Which, no matter if you start watching it, you already have that. Because you're not just going to start a show in the second season. Like, you're already going to have that established, you know? So it just felt really just weird. It felt very out of place.
It really did, especially once the daydream is over and you know how Jeremiah truly reacted.
Well, and even, like, just taking the boys out. Like, she literally wakes up from the daydream, and it's like, it's been 6 weeks since Susanna's been gone, or whatever. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I highly doubt that's what you're going to be dreaming about after a traumatic thing like that happened. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but I doubt that's where your brain would go. But you never know with Belly, because she's really just, yeah.
Yeah. She's not your average thinker, I think is the right word, because being somebody that has experienced a lot of loss, 6 weeks after somebody has passed away, I'm not really daydreaming about them still being alive. Honestly, it takes a while for me to have a dream about somebody that passed away. Like, it usually takes a few months for me to dream about my deceased loved one or something like that, you know? So I feel like that was
Well,
fast, but I
especially
mean,
not for
that's how
children.
Belly works. Yeah. Well, I think, and of course, I think the daydream had to do with Conrad, not really Susanna, just Conrad. Because in Belly's mind, her perfect world is being with Conrad.
That's true.
Her identity is shaped around loving Conrad.
Well, and a part of that is Susanna's.
Yeah, she definitely fed into that a lot, and that's when I actually do feel bad for Jeremiah a lot too, because I feel like as a mother, you can read when your child has a crush on somebody that like they grew up with and you see a lot. Like you kind of can just tell.
But I definitely feel that Susanna like brushed aside Jeremiah's feelings because Jeremiah was such like the I want everyone else to be happy before myself person. I mean, even on the last episode of the season, he talks about that. Like, if you're not gonna like, you need to tell her for you, or for her, or for you. Like, I want you to be happy. What about you? Like, you also deserve. Bless you.
Sorry, thank you.
You also deserve to be happy. And I feel
Yeah,
like their
I
dad
actually
really did them a disservice after Susanna passed away by not putting them in therapy.
their dad is just a
Piece of crap.
whole other thing. Um, but since you brought up that Jeremiah thing, I have a note about it. Um, Jeremiah is something I noticed too. Was that moment? Jeremiah was willing to get over his feelings for Belly and put them aside if Conrad truly did want to be with her and truly wanted to go after her. And like he even says in one of the episodes too that nobody checks on him because he always puts up this front that he's okay. And I wrote somewhere in here, oh yeah, rewatching it, I figured out why I like Jeremiah so much. And it's because I just understand him so much. Like, I get the way he feels. I get wanting to put on a happy face and make sure everybody else around you is happy before yourself, even if you're dying inside. I've always been that person. So I think that is why I like Jeremiah so much, because I understand him and I know how he feels all the time. And that's a hard place to be because you just want everyone to be happy, even if it means you're slowly dying inside.
In a situation like that, when he is watching, because I mean, like, yeah, they have their dad, but they don't. You know, like
Their dad
he's
even admits that he's an absent father.
yeah, they have more family, but they don't. They really just have each other, and I think like this entire season with Jeremiah, like after their mom is gone, he's just trying to make sure Conrad is happy because when Conrad shuts down, he just abandons everyone and he like Jeremiah can't handle being abandoned by Conrad when Conrad's the only person he has left.
Yeah. And
But
he does mention that
also
early on in the season, and he's like, stop trying to handle everything alone. You're not doing this alone anymore. We're doing things together, which
together.
I liked, like that's
Yeah,
how it
which
should
is
be
great.
because like they do only have each other.
But also it's kind of also on Laurel for like completely abandoning those boys. Like I understand like her best friend died, but like in my mind, those kids would be number one priority above myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, my feelings don't matter. My feelings are gonna get pushed aside until I have a minute to myself. Those kids are what matter. And like, I don't know, I feel like watching this show, I just get so frustrated with how selfish everybody is.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like you and me are very similar in the fact like we put everybody else above ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
so like just being so selfish and being like, no, my feelings are the only thing that matters. You cope on your own. Like how could a parent do that? Because like, yeah, Conrad and Jeremiah aren't her kids, but they basically are, you know?
I mean that's like saying all of our friends' children, they're basically our nieces and nephews. So it's like I wouldn't, and that's basically what they are to her too. So it's like if like say we were in this position and it was you that passed away and you had children, I wouldn't brush them off.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I would be annoying the fuck out of them probably, and they'd be like, go away. I'd be like, no.
No. I am here for
And I
you.
mean, in all honesty, you actually have experienced that just opposite, So it's like,
I couldn't
I don't
imagine
know.
like
I don't know.
being the person to just like, you're on your own. Deal with this
Yeah.
by yourself.
No. I feel like as a mother, she should have felt the need to step up and like be the mother figure for them because she's essentially all they have at this point.
And I'm honestly Like, and I know, like, he's not really, like, a part of this, but I feel like if this was, like, a real world situation, I feel like Belly and Steven's dad would have also, like, inserted himself in the picture. You know?
Yeah, I get that. But okay, so episode 1, I have a lot of feelings about this season and this first episode. Conrad and Belly's walk after they made out felt very shady to me, like they were hiding, and it was a little.
Oh,
It felt a
for
little
sure.
cringe and ill-timed, poorly timed for sure.
I mean, you know my feelings at the end, the last episode of season 1. That kiss should not have happened. Like, oh,
Right.
wow, we just found out Susanna had cancer. Let's kiss. I found out my mom's dying. Which, like, I have a really hard time with this. And I know, like, I've thought about it more. I've watched this whole season. I've chilled out a bit. I was really harsh on Belly, but at the same time, like, I just have such a hard time with it because Belly really took advantage of the situation because both Conrad and Jeremiah were in such a compromised spot emotionally. Like, this was essentially emotional abuse, in my opinion.
Absolutely,
But
I agree
then,
with you.
on the flip side, once Belly found out, she's like seeking for comfort in any way she can because she's also hurting.
Yeah,
But
and I can understand that. I can understand
I
your
still
pain.
feel that you know right from wrong, and that's what's wrong.
So during their walk, her and Conrad, they're talking. She's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it! Like, I'm never gonna get used to kissing you. It's not gonna feel real." And it's like that cringy, really. Let me kiss you now. And then right after that, she just so subtly throws in, "Oh,
By the way,
so
I've been kissing your brother the last week.
yeah, me and Jeremiah kissed a few times." And like I felt like she really downplayed the whole situation with Jeremiah because it was pretty intense even in the first season with those two.
Yes, and like,
You know?
and it just. This is why I'm team anti-Belly because she just is 100% out for herself. She doesn't care about whose feelings she steamrolls over. And she doesn't
Neither
like
does Conrad. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I couldn't hold that in.
because like she just doesn't like she'll say one thing to somebody and then say the other thing to the other brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like and you're like, you think they're not gonna talk? Like they're siblings.
Well, clearly they don't talk because Conrad had no fucking idea he even had feelings for Belly.
That's true.
And like
You're
that's
right.
something I put down too. Is like after when Belly tells him about Jeremiah, Conrad didn't seem like he felt any type of way about Belly telling him about Jer's feelings for her. He was just like, "Oh, I'll talk to him. He's fine. He'll just roll. He won't even care." And that's where
Yeah.
Jeremiah's carefree attitude kind of like hurts him because people do think that about you when you have that type of attitude. Like, oh, it's not gonna care. I mean, look how many times it happened to me in high school with certain people.
Yeah.
Like, just yeah, a real life situation coming in, and it's just like, and I hate that his response after she's worried about hurting Jer is Connor was like, "Do you want to be with me?" And she's like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "Then be with me." Like, do you not care about your fucking brother's feelings at all in this scenario? Like, it's like he felt zero remorse about fucking Jeremiah's feelings, and I actually wrote down the quote. It's Jer. He never takes anything seriously or too seriously.
Yeah. But then at the same
But
time, like, it's hard because every relationship, I'm putting air quotes around this, that Jeremiah has had up until this point has been what they call hookups. You know, something
yeah,
super, like a fling. Something super, like, nonchalant, fling, like, oh, we made it out a couple times and then that was it. Like,
yeah.
and so I don't think in Conrad's mind, he's like, oh, like he just kissed you like he kissed everybody else because he's never seen his brother genuinely care about somebody.
That's fair, but also like,
I'm not saying it's
do
right,
you really
but
think? Yeah, do you really think Conrad has actually taken the time to ask him? I don't think he has, in my opinion.
I feel like prior to the cancer coming back, probably. Like they seemed close. I think when this whole situation started, like Conrad immediately like shut everybody out and shut down.
Conrad, that's Conrad's forte is shutting people out, not talking to anybody, being a lump in the mud. Like that's just fucking Conrad. And I maybe it's the age that I know that they both are, but Conrad and Belly felt really awkward.
Yeah.
Like It felt forced because Susanna wanted it to happen so bad.
Yeah, and I feel like I was thinking about it as I was watching. I'm like, it feels like almost, it's not, but it feels almost like a Munchausen like situation because like Susanna was pushing it so hard. They're like, oh yeah, we like each other.
Right?
Oh yeah,
Right?
we love each other. But I mean, they do love each other, but not in that way.
Yes, and that's what I believe
But
too, because ugh.
But also, I also don't feel that Jeremiah and Belly love each other in that way. I think they have love for each other. I think they all have love for each other. But in the end, I don't feel that they are in love.
Well, I don't think you can actually be in love with somebody until you're actually with them. But that might be just my opinion. As like,
Yeah,
okay,
I agree.
for example, celebrities. All the time, my whole life, I have said I am in love with Zac Efron. That has been my crush forever. However, if I met him, I don't think I would instantly be in love with him.
No.
Like I don't actually know the guy, you know?
Yeah.
And
No,
like
I
I know
agree.
they know
Definitely
each other, but
love is something that like develops.
yeah.
But like, I don't know, I just don't see it. And I
I
don't see their love being able to have the chance to grow into that because of the situations that have happened.
because of the situations, the timing of it all was terrible. I don't think they should have dated at all while Susanna was going through her trials and everything. I think it
No.
was a mistake. It was doomed for failure from the start, in my
Well,
opinion.
and I feel a part. This is like how I felt the Conrad, like his brain for dating Belly. I feel like he really was doing it because his mom wanted it. It made her happy and she was dying. And I think he loved Belly, but not loved her enough to stay with her once everything was getting worse and worse. And like when he broke up with her, I think it was like it just felt like, well, my mom's dying, like I can't do this and take care of my mom to make her happy. Like something's gotta give. And I
And you
think
know what? That's fine.
yeah.
Like, if you can't handle a relationship while something that major is happening in your life, that's completely understandable. But there's a way to go about it and tell the person you're seeing, you know?
But I
Not
feel like he
necessarily
didn't even
rage baiting her.
understand his feelings towards Belly because I don't think he's ever had a good frame of what a good relationship looks like. His parents didn't work out. Laurel and her husband didn't work out. So none of these kids have a good concept of what a healthy relationship looks like. And so they're like, "Oh, my mom has wanted us together our whole lives. Like, I'm gonna do this to make her happy, and we're in love of what I think love is." And he's only seen the toxic relationship of his dad and how his dad acts in relationships, which is such a
Yeah.
parallel of how he behaved in relationships.
Yeah.
And
I
so
agree.
it was just doomed from the start. And I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like Conrad loved Belly in that way. I feel like a lot of
I,
it was trying to make mom happy and he's convincing himself. And then
yeah.
after mom was gone, he's like, well, that's the one thing of comfort. I need her back.
Yeah. And that's where, like, I don't like that Jeremiah's feelings weren't taken seriously, but also, like, backtracking a little bit, I enjoyed, or no, not enjoyed, I was proud of Jeremiah for blowing up on Belly the way he did when she came in and told him. Because he was actually, like, telling his feelings, talking about his mom, and, like, her doing the trials. He was researching everything about it. And then she just drops this fucking bomb on him. And he's like, oh, perfect timing. You know, my mom's not dying.
Yeah. And that, like, and I think I. I liked that moment in the show and where it was because I feel like it really kind of like slaps you back into like, wow, thanks for talking about this fucking real life thing that's going on when you're doing this bullshit on the side.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I respected Jeremiah for blowing up on her. He had every right, in my opinion, to say those things to her and to
Oh,
feel what he was
absolutely.
feeling because she totally fucking led him on.
But then, like,
And then
I don't know
he told her,
how.
he warned her that Conrad was going to break her heart. I just gonna
Absolutely.
throw that out there.
But I don't understand, like, me personally, like, I don't care what Belly. Oh, goose. I don't care what Belly would have said. There would have been no way I would have been able to trust her to take her back ever after that. Like, how could you, in such a vulnerable time in my life, I found out my mom is dying, like, just disregard my feelings to just be like, oh, I'm happy with Conrad now. Well, good for fucking you. My life fucking sucks. Like,
Well, yeah, and Jeremiah says that. He's like, oh, cool, so I was just a distraction. She's like, well, no. It's like, well, yeah, Belly, that's pretty much what you're telling him he was. Because you
you
were
were a
just,
placeholder.
yeah, you were over Conrad, but the minute Conrad comes running to you, you're all for him again. Belly's tears felt like crocodile tears when she was saying that, like, she couldn't be with Conrad if it hurt Jeremiah. Because it's like, if you really felt that way, you wouldn't have actually
You
kissed
wouldn't have
Conrad to be.
kissed him on the beach.
Yeah, yeah, that never would have happened if you truly felt that way. And okay, here's the start of when I like Conrad. I liked Conrad during their phone call situationship thing they had going on for a bit because he seemed vulnerable. He was expressing his feelings and emotions. He felt like he was being genuine.
Well, and I feel like that's when him and Belly do best. When they can communicate from afar. Once
Yeah,
they are together, it becomes a problem.
yeah.
And I agree. I really like that. Like, I forgot about that part in the season, and I was like, oh, like, this is so cute. And then when he started picking her up, and then when they went to cousins over Christmas, I was like, no, nothing
Yeah.
good can happen from this.
Yeah. And then, Steven graduates. I love the side eyes and the like small little jabs he takes when he's like, oh, I wish Conrad and Jeremiah could be here. Like, looks at Belly.
But also, like I understand their year was very hard at that point. Like, Susanna had died not very
Sure,
long
they
ago.
wouldn't have been up for coming out anyways. Like,
But I feel like one of them could have came.
yeah, one of them probably could have. I think the one that could have, honestly, would have been Conrad because Jeremiah was also graduating that year.
Yeah.
And that's a lot for him too. However, after he graduates and everything in the graduation party, here's Belly making it about her after, she gets rejected by a
Oh.
guy where she tried to kiss him. Then she's going off on Steven saying, okay, let's go, I'm not having a good time. It's like, I understand she was hurting too, I get that, but she does have this thing where she kind of makes it about her. And that's where I saw your stance on her a lot more. Was like in the very beginning of season 2 when she was making everything about her.
Selfish. So selfish.
Yeah.
Takes after her mom.
And I didn't like that Conrad showed up at her door and used the excuse as like, well, Jeremiah's on a high, so he's completely over it. Like, he got voted homecoming queen, so he's fine. It's like, it doesn't mean somebody's fine with it if they're having like a good few weeks and like, cool, yeah, he's on a high because he got voted homecoming king. That's normal. Doesn't mean he's okay with shit.
Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like the whole thruple situation between them, like, Belly just should not have touched it at all.
I agree. I agree. It's,
And, like,
yeah,
I really feel for Steven, because, like, he's losing friendships because of...
I know, which was exactly what he was afraid of.
Yep.
He knew it would happen. His face when Conrad first started calling Belly and she's like, it's Conrad. And he's like, hi, Conrad. Clearly uncomfortable with it. Because he's like, he knows what's going to do it. And so I thought it was a bold move for Belly to call Jeremiah after him ignoring her for so long, almost a year. I think this shows Jeremiah is a good brother. Now, this is just my opinion. I know not a lot of people are going to agree with it. And that's totally fine. This is just my opinion. Jeremiah is a good brother because he was so concerned about Conrad for not hearing from him for like a day. He's like, this isn't normal for Conrad to not talk to me. And so when Belly calls him, he's just like, hey, have you talked to Conrad? And I know Belly wasn't calling about him at all. She was just like, wait, what? No? Why would I be with Conrad? Why would I have talked to him? He doesn't talk to me. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, the inserting herself into that situation, though, too. Like, Jeremiah is a better person than I, because I would have been like, bitch, you're not fucking coming. You're just gonna make shit fucking worse.
I'm surprised he said yes, too. And I am still unclear as to what her motives truly were. I want to believe that she wanted to be there for Jeremiah, but I think she was worried about Conrad as soon as Jeremiah mentioned his name.
And I feel like she was like, oh, well, if I show up with Jeremiah, he'll get jealous and want me back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, yeah.
You
And
want to
then
know
when,
what
you know,
would
when
make
she
this story
decides,
so much better? If Belly just stayed home and Steven went with him.
yeah. But, you know, this shows Taylor, again, being the real fucking MVP, and why she's my favorite character. Because she covered for her when she ran into Steven at Barnes and Noble, and she was just like, and he was like, wait, aren't you supposed to be my sister? And she's like, oh, yeah, she's still mad at you. Don't talk to her. Leave her alone.
Yeah, she's getting
Which I
pretzels.
need to comment. Yeah. I need to comment on the coffee. The coffee looked really gross.
Yeah, it did.
There was no ice in it.
Yeah, I wonder how many times they had to do that take since there's no ice in that coffee.
That's what I was wondering too.
She's like, oh, I was just coming to get coffee. I'm like, oh, girl, take it back to the Barnes and Noble cafe. Make them make it for you again. It's not
Oh god,
good.
and I loved the sexual tension between Taylor and Steven from like literally the very beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It's just so, I'm like, oh god, you guys, that's what I was living for in the season. I live for Steven and Taylor in this series, not even the main characters. I'm like, can we just focus on Steven and Taylor? That'd be great. Thanks. Bye.
Steven Taylor, Conrad and Jeremiah. Belly can just go away. Like, I just want to see them. But like, honestly, I'm also team Conrad's roommate.
He was fun.
I love that guy.
Oh, that he was memorable. You know, he was only in there for a brief moment.
When we get to the later episode, the comments that he
Oh
made
my
when
god,
they
I know.
came back. Oh my god.
Yes.
But
And here's another one of Jeremiah's breakdowns on Belly that I again felt was completely valid, because for somebody who's constantly saying Jeremiah's my best friend, Jeremiah's my best friend, he makes a good point. Like, then where were you when I needed you? Where were you when my mom died and I needed you? You weren't there. I completely understand. Honestly, just recently being in that same boat, I completely get that. And it was valid, you know? And like, my heart bled for him when he started bawling his eyes out. Like,
Belly is
I could have
selfish.
hugged him.
She doesn't care about anybody else but herself. All she cared about was her and Conrad. And she could give two shits about her quote unquote best friend.
Yeah. I will say though, you know, because we're going through the flashbacks when it's the first one or two episodes, I think it is. Conrad completely ruined Belly's prom. And I feel bad for her in that sense, because like, that's, you're not going to want to go to prom again after that.
I do feel bad for her, but
I get he was hurting. I get it.
but I feel like she was so, like, she didn't take into account how he was going to be feeling. Like, why would he want to go to prom when his mom is literally on her death?
No, yes, that makes sense too. And like, that's again where, you know, like you said, Belly's being selfish. She really needed to take into account, like, hey, this is when prom is. If you don't want to come, that's okay. I understand. Like, this is where, and I know it's not an excuse, but this is where her age shows.
But again, also, I do kind of feel like a part of that was also Susanna, because she's on the phone
Absolutely.
with Laurel and she's like, well, let me see, get this picture. And I feel like Conrad is doing a lot of pleasing for other people.
He was totally doing it to please his mom, because you know his mom told him to go. Like, don't worry about me, go. Because that's who Susanna was. She was like, don't worry about me, just go, like, go be there for her, go have fun with her, you know. And like, and I get that she's being a mom and trying to be like, don't worry about me, like, I still want you to live your life,
But she wasn't
even though I'm here.
taking
Like,
into account her kids' feelings. Like,
yeah.
It's okay that your kids don't want to go to prom that's not even theirs, to spend more time with their mom that's dying.
Totally okay. It's totally valid too, you know? Like, I don't know. I know there's a lot of stuff Belly does that I personally wouldn't do, just because like I know what myself was like at that age, and I wouldn't have been like that. But I think that also, I'm pretty sure Susanna was the first death she ever actually dealt with.
Probably.
You know? And like that, it's hard to navigate grief especially if you've never dealt with it before.
Yeah. But
But you do.
I feel like Belly is just such a like out of sight, out of mind person. Like if she wasn't seeing Susanna, she could ignore the fact that she was as sick as she was.
Exactly, and I think that's exactly valid because she didn't see it firsthand. She only saw it when she went to go see her and say her final goodbye, basically. And okay, at the funeral, is it just me? I don't feel like it was that big of a deal when Belly walked in on
No,
Conrad laying down on somebody's lap.
not at
It
all.
was not that big of a deal.
Like the way she freaked out, I was like, yeah, your mom, Conrad, Jeremiah, everybody has every right to be as pissed at you as they are because you freaked out for no fucking reason. It wasn't like they were sitting there like making out, like he was
It
laying
was,
down crying and someone was comforting him. God
yeah,
forbid
like
it's
he
a
says
funeral.
later on in the couple episodes later when he was like, I was having a panic attack and she just happened to be there and she was helping me through it. Like, that was not the time and place for Belly to make something else about her. That was Susanna's funeral. Those were her
All
boys
she
hurting. She
ever
sent Jeremiah
does.
to his room. Like, oh.
That's all she ever does, though. Like, Belly is just not a good person.
Yeah. And, once I I think Conrad again, I'm going to defend Conrad here, which you don't hear me do very often. When they actually get to the cousin's house and they find Conrad in there and Belly walks in and finds out that they're selling the house or that the Aunt Julie's selling the house. And he like looks at her, he's like, what is she doing here? I would have probably said the same fucking shit.
Yeah, because she has no business being there.
Yeah, like I understand. Again, I understand that there's love there no matter what because they grew up together. I get that. But like,
Time
if
and
I
place.
had done something like that, I would have been like, "Yo, Jeremiah, let me know when you find him, and like if you need me, let me know. But I'm gonna stay back." you know?
Like, well, and even like when they went to the dorm and found out that he went to cousins, Jeremiah's like, I'm going. Like, I don't need you to come with me. She just like, well, I'm coming. Like, he didn't invite her to come. She just was like, no, I have to. No, bitch, nobody wants you there. Literally, nobody wants you there.
Yeah. And
But
I
also,
like when
like,
Steven and Taylor crashed, though. I was like, yes.
yes, me too. It was good timing. But also, like, the whole selling of the house situation.
Aunt Julia
I
was
want to
fucked
know.
for everything she
I
did.
want to know what this fucking family's aversion is to therapy. Because if the
Believe in
aunt
it, clearly.
would have gone to therapy, she wouldn't have such a negative outlook on this house because of what her dad did to her years
Well,
prior and the
and
bad relationship.
it's misplaced rage on Susanna from her sister, to be
Yeah.
completely honest.
It's jealousy. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Because Anna was the favorite. And she didn't get treated the way that she did. But also, I don't love how awful she was to the boys when she interacted with
oh,
them.
yeah. That was absolutely
Like,
unnecessary. The one thing that I hated the most was when she got movers to come in when she made them leave and go to like the boardwalk and shit like that and they had their really fun day that they all needed. That was my favorite episode was the fun arcade
yeah, I
day.
did really
That
like
was
that one.
Yeah, that was again when I really liked Conrad because he was letting loose and having fun and like being the
But they were
fun
all
Conrad
being
that you hear
kids
about.
that they deserved
Yes,
to be. And like, they're building their relationship back with their cousin, and that they didn't get to have a relationship with them because of their mom.
agreed. But like, and this is where I'm gonna step on my Jeremiah shit again though, is throughout the season when him and Belly are starting to like go back to their normal ways, you can see how much Jeremiah does love Belly. No matter if it's romantic or not, you can see how he clearly loves her.
Yeah, and cares about.
Yeah. And like that's something I don't genuinely see from Conrad a lot, but you see it genuinely from Jeremiah. Like Conrad, he feels like as soon as he sees she's getting attention somewhere else, he's like, "Oh wait. Oh wait."
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. I could very well be wrong, but
No, I agree. And I feel like it's that way because he was always like number one spotlight from his mom. He never had to be the one to seek out attention like Jeremiah was. Jeremiah had to seek out that attention because Conrad was always number one with Susanna.
And I hate that so much. And it just sucks because it was like it put a huge damper on their fun day when they come back and everything's gone. But I loved
And
the
I guess
party that they threw at the house.
yeah, but going back to like the aunt moving the stuff out, like that was so disrespectful to those boys. Like not even taking into account any of their feelings, being like, "Hey, like I'm really sorry, but I am going to sell this house. Like please, I'm going to have movers come in. Please grab the things that you want of your mom's or your things." Instead of just putting it all in the garage. Like
Yeah, that's fucked. I also would like to know where the hell did all that furniture go? Because there's no way everything fit in the garage.
I don't know.
So she had to have gotten like a storage unit or something.
Somewhere. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
also, I don't understand why she moved all the furniture out of the house because when you sell a home, it doesn't immediately like go to the seller and everything has to be out. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Normally
honestly,
they like get staged when it's a nice house like that.
but honestly, like, since it was a vacation home, most of the time you sell that with your furniture in it.
Mm-hmm. Because they
Like,
weren't living there like full time or anything
full
like that.
time. Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like the mom or the aunt, Sky's mom, was just her trauma and grief was very much displaced onto the kids, which was not fair.
Misplaced rage, man. Yeah, it really was. And so fast forward to the party. I loved that they decided to throw a party. It was like a way to kind of get back at the aunt, and also, when Belly's talking about how like the first time Laurel went there with Susanna, Susanna's dad had just passed, and she decided to throw a big party. Like I was like, okay, I like that's paying respects, but the part in particular when Jeremiah whispered into Belly's ear, "You don't have to hurt yourself to get my attention," I was weak. I was like, whisper that in my ear, like, oh my god. I was like, stop it.
No. I just don't want them to like her.
I understand. I completely understand that. But
Don't
I
want them to
also
like her.
I yeah. And at the party though, when Milo shows up, Taylor's boyfriend, I hated the Milo era, by the way. I did not like him.
Me too. He was so icky. He was so
icky. But I love when like Jeremiah and Belly are sitting next to each other and they hear the words fight and they jump up and go see, and Conrad goes in there too. Conrad and Jeremiah don't try to go in and stop Steven or break up the fight.
Yeah,
They're
get
like,
him,
get him, Steven.
The bros.
And even when Taylor and Belly were like, you guys, they're like, what?
Get him off. Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny. Oh god, yeah, that was great. But I enjoyed Sky. I love that Cameron was in season 2 also.
Yes, I loved Sky. Sky was probably like is probably my favorite character of the series. And justice for Cameron. He got somebody who would actually like enjoys him and pays attention to him and likes to talk about whales with him.
I loved that. I love when Sky was in his room and they were like, "Oh my god, you really like whales?" And he was just like, "Yeah."
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
No big deal. And I like that Cameron was Sky's first kiss. Also, I was dead when Taylor was teaching her how to kiss, or teaching Sky how to kiss.
How to kiss.
By telling,
yes.
By feeling like, so this is how you kiss, and Sky was like, so I open my teeth and then stick my tongue out. And then Belly's like,
when is there a time where teeth are it's full teeth?
I loved Sky so much.
Me too. Also, I'm gonna side with you on the Bash and Conrad for a minute. When he was just such a dick to Sky, like, oh, it's your mom. Yeah, like she can control what her mom's doing.
Yeah, that's something I hate, because just because your parents are a certain way doesn't mean you're that way.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But
I didn't
once
like
they all were on the same team, I was like, yeah, fight the power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I loved the moment of drunk clarity for Belly at the party when she called her mom.
Yes, that was good. And then fast forward to the next day. I have this written down. The between Laurel and Belly needed to happen. That needed to happen because it was pent up, you could tell. However, Laurel was very much in the wrong for slapping Belly.
Oh, absolutely. And she knew that the moment she did
She
it.
did. As soon as she did it. And then, like, when they talk, and she's like, "You've never hit me before." She's like, I'm so sorry. Because, I mean, like, obviously don't support any abuse of any kind. But, like, don't put your hands on your children, even if they deserve it. Maybe a spank.
Yeah. And I think where the slap was so uncalled for is it wasn't for, like, normally if a parent slaps a kid, like, on the mouth, it's for saying something inappropriate. No, Belly just said something that Laurel didn't like.
Oh, absolutely. She hit her right where she knew it would hurt her. But it also needed to kind of be said, also, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
because it was a reality check. Laurel needed to be like, hey, you're being a shitty adult, and we need a fucking adult.
mm-hmm. And you know what? I think it hit her harder because Cleveland had just told her the same thing, basically.
Also, where was Cleveland for Conrad? Because I feel like when he met Conrad and Cousins in season 1, like, he was really there for him. He helped him through the panic attacks. Like, if I was an adult in that situation, like, it's not like he's like a weird adult now. Like, him and Laurel are kind of dating, so he can be like, hey, Conrad, how you doing? I heard about your mom.
He said there was in that episode, he tells Laurel that he tried to check in on Conrad, but Conrad won't respond.
I would keep trying personally, but that's just me.
He's a man.
That's true. That's true.
Sorry, men, but sometimes you guys just give up way too fast.
Well, that's not even what I, like, where my brain processed it. A man reaching out to a minor is always, like, something that's more frowned upon than a woman, you know?
Well, Conrad's not technically a minor.
But he's a kid.
True. He's, like, what, 19 at this point?
Yeah. So, like, it is more frowned upon.
Yeah. And, yeah. The one thing I do agree with Laurel on, so this is where my little redemption for Laurel comes in. And season 3 will quickly take that away, but also bring it back a little bit.
Right.
I have just a really wishy-washy relationship with Laurel. It's just a me thing.
I don't like Laurel. The only one of their family I like is Steve.
That's fair. I agree with Laurel and her hatred for Adam. That's one thing I will completely have Laurel's back on. Because that's why I feel like I see some of me in Laurel when she's like telling Adam, she's like, it's been no secret, I'm not your biggest fan. There's been so many times I've said that to my friends, significant others. I'm so straight up. I'm like, it's no secret I don't like you, but
but they do, so
exactly. So it's like I know how to turn it off, you know, and so does Laurel because she's put up with him for this long. But also Laurel being the badass bitch that they should have called from day one.
But they shouldn't have had to call her. She should have already been there.
That's true. But no, I'm saying about the house. Because she goes into it when they tell her about the house, she's like, I thought Susanna and Julia had it worked out. And then Connor's like, wait, you knew? Type of thing. And she's like, well, I didn't know, but I knew that it was going to be talked about, but I thought that it was worked out. So, like, I took it as Laura was a bit blindsided by it too, or Susanna lied to her about it.
Yeah.
Which could have been because Susanna
also
did try to spare people's feelings.
Yeah, but also I feel like Susanna also would have just been like, because towards the end, Laurel was becoming too, like, of a hover parent almost to Susanna, and it was really getting on Susanna's nerves, and I think she just kind of shut down when it came to Laurel and helping stuff with Laurel and having Laurel help with things, and she's like, no, I just want, like, my freaking friend. I don't want somebody to take care of me. I just want my friend.
Like, I don't want you to be my caretaker right now. Can you just be my friend for me? Yeah, that makes sense. But, you know, here's Laurel saving the day, talking the sister down. And, like, again, with Aunt Julia, I understand that, you know, her and Susanna don't have the same moms. But that's not Susanna's fault. And I feel like Julia is placing a lot of the blame on Susanna, and that's not fair because, like, again, like I said, it's misplaced rage, and now the sons are paying for it, and that's not fair.
Well, and it's just the aunt is doing exactly what the stepmom was doing to her, to Conrad and Jeremiah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think she needed that conversation from an adult's point of view, and not from the kids, because to actually see. you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I get that. That makes sense. Uh but it was shitty. It was all shitty, you know, cuz no one deserved it. And the way that she was talking to Sky about when Sky was spending time with their cousins, and she was all like, I love that you're getting to know your cousins, but don't be surprised if the phone doesn't ring. If they want to get to know you, they'll let you know. It's like, that's fucked up. Like, way to just kind of
Way to pass
crush a
on your
child's high.
generational trauma.
Yeah.
This is we're too old for this bullshit. This is 2025. We ain't doing that no more. Okay? We're not passing down generational trauma.
So many families don't get that memo.
Yeah, well, we're putting PSA. Okay? Cut it out. We're not doing it anymore. Knock your shit off.
Oh, God. Yeah. And, okay.
But yeah,
yeah.
Talking after Laurel talked to the aunt, and then they got Conrad and Jeremiah's dad to show up, and then he was like, "Oh, you're just gonna try to steamroll me? No, you need to fucking listen to what your kids need." And like that was another thing. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like a rich people thing, and like we don't get it because we're not rich people. But like just to completely just to be so completely and utterly selfish, because so was the dad. He's like, well, it's just too hard for me to be in this place because she's everywhere. And it was just kind of like a moment where I was like, yeah, she's everywhere. That's why your kids want to keep this house, because that's a piece of their mom that they can keep. I was just like, what? Like, how did you not realize the words that came out of your mouth is something that your kids are striving for?
Well, okay, yeah, that, and the fact that, like, okay, he's saying this place is crawling with Susanna, but literally, how often did you actually spend time at that house? Because it's very clear in the first season, in the first book, you only came for the 4th of July, and that was it. And, like, you also were cheating on your wife for God knows how long, so why is it such a big deal that your children want to keep... Yeah, they just want to keep a piece of their mom. What is so wrong about that?
Yeah.
I can understand him being kind of a parent when he's like, I don't want them to use their trust. I can get that. I can totally understand
that. Is fair. That is fair.
Yes.
Like, yes, the cousin's house is important, but it's not more important than your future.
Yes. Like, that's fair. I completely understood that.
But and also, what a rich people problem to have. Well, let me just sell the other house in Boston and we'll have the money for it.
Right? Also, okay, that's actually another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. They were so hell-bent on keeping the beach house, but they didn't want to they were totally fine with, like, losing their main house. It's like, wouldn't that place be, like, kind of sentimental to you, too? Or is it just this place?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it just comes down to, like, a memory thing. They just had good memories at the beach house with their mom.
But I could see them not wanting to keep the house in Boston because that's the house their mom died in.
That's true.
Because they made it very clear that she was in hospice at her own home.
Yes, that is true. Well, I mean...
So, I don't know that I would want to keep that house either. Where the bad memories are for having cancer.
Yeah. And their dad made a good point, being like, you guys aren't really going to be around because you'll be in school, so... And, like, they're off on the summer, and that's when they come home, and they usually go to the beach house, so it's like, makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I totally got it.
If all else fails, you can just live at the beach house. Oh God, I have to live by the beach 24/7. Right? Bad life.
And so, you know, after all is said and done, they keep the house, and you know, Conrad's deciding to go to Stanford and taking the final to make sure he goes to Stanford.
This was one thing that I did like, that he finally told Jeremiah that he got accepted to Stanford.
Yes.
And that he was like, but I'm not. And I liked how he told Jeremiah, like, I'm not going to go to Stanford because I don't want you to feel like I'm abandoning you. And then Jeremiah was like, no, go. Like, that's something you want. Like, don't stay back here for me. Like, I'm going to go to this other college. Like, we're not even going to be at the same college anyway. I'm not going to Brown. I'm going to go to whatever the other one was called.
Finch,
yes. Yeah. And I liked that.
I liked that too. A little bit of irony, though, after Conrad is saying, like, I'm sick of all this fighting. We only have each other now. We have to be there for each other. Just to have the next episode be them fighting, mostly Conrad at Jeremiah's throat.
But that was another thing. They both are at fault for that, because they're like, let's talk and tell each other everything. And neither one of them do it. neither one of them are like, so I have feelings for Belly. I still want to
That's
be
true.
with Belly. Like, they're like,
They
oh
did
yeah,
it.
we're gonna talk about everything except for her.
Well, and they ended up talking about it just after the whole fucking shit happened. But that's where my respect for Jeremiah comes back, because even then, after Conrad saw them kissing and Jeremiah talks to him and he was like, listen, I like her. If you still like her, you need to tell her, you need to let her know, and if she chooses you, I will let her go forever. Like, I won't get in the way this time. I respect Jeremiah for that. He's always been open about that, but Conrad had to go there and try to fuck it all up. And he even says that at the hotel when he's talking to Belly when Jeremiah goes to sleep. So that's why I have a hard time believing that Conrad genuinely loves Belly when you can clearly see that Jeremiah does.
See, and that's where I think, like, where what I was talking about before, like, he just thinks he's in love with her because that's all he's known, because that's what his mom pushed for so long, and now he thinks that's the only thing that love is, and that's the only piece of what he had, like, his life before, before his mom died. And I definitely, like, when Belly was on the phone with her mom and was asking, like, how did you know, like, you weren't in love with dad anymore? And she's like, oh, it's when you aren't looking about what, like, the past with that person, you're looking about what the future is going to be. And I feel like Conrad is stuck looking in the past of them because that's when he was happy before his mom died, when things were good with Belly and life was going in the right direction for him. And I feel like emotionally he's just spiraling and trying to grasp onto anything. And that's why he can't let Belly go.
Yes. And
Which
this
is
is
not fair to Jeremiah or Belly.
no, not at all. I
But
I wrote
also,
down something.
okay, I want to know what you wrote down.
Oh, I was like, I genuinely love the relationship that Belly and Jeremiah have together, because it just feels so easy with them, so
It
carefree.
feels more genuine.
Yes, he brings out
Yes,
such a,
I
like,
agree.
he brings out such a different side of Belly that you don't see ever with Conrad. But
Well,
with
and I feel like
Conrad,
he brings out the Belly wants to be a better person around Jeremiah,
yes.
and I think that's because Jeremiah is such a genuinely good person.
hmm
And
And with Conrad, it feels
it's selfish.
exhausting. It feels hard. It feels taxing. It feels like she's always walking on eggshells because she doesn't know what kind of mood he's going to be in. Like, it just, there's always something with Conrad, and it shouldn't be that hard to love somebody. And it
Yeah.
always
Well,
felt
that's
hard
not
with
love.
Conrad. Yeah, and it feels easy with Jeremiah. And that's what I like about it. I did like Sassy Conrad. He was funny, but I also
That
thought it
last
was really,
episode was
it was
my
funny.
favorite.
It was
Because
so funny, but I also thought
that
it was
is some
childish.
shit. That's some shit that I could just see happening. Like,
100%.
between the two of us, like, be like, oh, so, like, not even in, like, a situation like that, but just when you know somebody's done something wrong, and you're like, oh, so, what
Yeah,
about this?
I I agree. It was funny. However, I did think it was a little childish of
Oh,
Conrad to do that, because Jeremiah did not act that way towards him at all when it
well,
happened the opposite
see,
way.
I feel like that behavior was valid towards Belly, but not towards Jeremiah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it's
Like, I
like,
feel like Belly deserved it. Jeremiah,
Belly
no.
did,
Like,
Jeremiah didn't, and that's why I was glad when Jeremiah took him aside. And I, I wrote down again, like, here's why I don't feel bad for Conrad. He confessed his feelings for Belly when they were in the hotel room when Jeremiah was asleep, and then told Belly not to, like, say anything back. And then the next day, he goes back and
I was
tells
just
Belly,
kidding.
I was just kidding, forget about what I said. Conrad's too wishy-washy, and that's why I don't trust him. That's why I don't like him. That's my beef with Conrad.
And I feel like when I was rewatching the last episode and watching that part in particular, I feel like that was Conrad trying to be a good person in that situation. Like, in his brain, he knew Belly would be better with Jeremiah, but he doesn't have, like, the emotional capacity to have a conversation like that, and that's the only way he knows how.
Yeah, but that's not healthy.
No, it's not. Like I said, therapy. But I feel
Therapy.
like that's the only way, like, he can think to be like, okay, this is the only way that I can tell her to be with Jeremiah without completely crushing myself. And I feel like it's a defense mechanism on his part because he can't be vulnerable.
Yeah. No,
Because
I
you see
completely.
it when he leaves the hotel room and completely breaks down. He cannot be vulnerable in front of other people. That toxic masculinity.
It's so bad. But, like, again, if you truly love somebody, you can be vulnerable around them.
Yep. And
You
that's
know,
why,
like-
like I said, I don't feel like he genuinely loved her. I think it was a comfort thing. I think
Exactly.
it was grasping at something of the life that was when he was truly happy.
And this
I
is
feel like
why
he's just so lost now that his mom died, and he feels like his whole world is crumbling around him, and he's doing anything he can to try to like bring something back.
absolutely. But this is why I'm not team Conrad. And when I see TikToks of people like boosting up Conrad, I genuinely am that person that's like, are we watching the same show?
And like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not a team either of them because I don't feel like either of them are good with Belly. Not because of either one of them, because Belly is the problem.
I can see that. And like, that's why, like, I like Jeremiah. I don't necessarily say I'm super team Jeremiah. We already know I'm team Sailor 100%. But if they're not involved, like, I like Jeremiah. I just think he doesn't get loved the way he deserves, and that's what hurts me.
Jeremiah needs somebody who is going to be as devoted to him as Taylor is to Steven. And they're not going to get that from Belly.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, same could be said to Belly. She needs somebody as devoted as Taylor is to her.
Yes. And like, I mean, the same with Conrad. Conrad needs somebody who is going to hold him accountable.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to have hard conversations and make him have hard conversations.
Well, I mean, Belly does make him, but she has to literally fight him to make him. And that's, like I said, again, it shouldn't be that hard. Like, a relationship just shouldn't be that hard in general, no matter what. I mean, I think everybody deserves to have some easiness in their life when it comes to their relationship, not hardness like that.
Yeah. Not
when he like refuses to open up to you until like you explode, and then he's just like,
yeah, not good.
No, not at all. So, I think that's my season 2 thoughts. I'm still Jeremiah. I'm still on team Jeremiah, you know, like for season 2. I still am rooting for Jeremiah. However, my real team, my heart belongs to Steven and Taylor.
I'm team anti-Belly. The boys just need to go find other people. There are so many other people in the world, okay? Go find somebody else. Go to college, meet new people. Belly can be a distant memory that you see on the 4th of July.
Jeremiah literally has twice as many options as Conrad.
Right? You can find somebody way better than Belly. Okay?
He likes everybody, so...
Please. The world is your ocean. Like, plenty of fish.
It really is.
Go find.
For Jeremiah, it truly is, because, you know, he doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
He likes everybody. He likes vibes.
He does like vibes. But, yeah, with the way season 2 ended, like, I know you've started season 3, I haven't yet. Like, I just feel like that 4th of July, when they all go back to Cousins, is just gonna be such a hot mess now.
I wish we got to see it, but we didn't. Yeah.
Literal dumpster fire, I feel.
We'll talk about season 3 once you watch it all.
Well, it's not even done yet, so.
No, there's 2 more episodes.
So stay tuned for 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. Yeah, like literally 2 weeks from now. We're starting talking about it, and then we're taking a little hiatus because we gotta wait for it to finish.
We're waiting on the show this time.
So, end of season 2, I feel like it's no longer just Team Conrad and Team Jeremiah. I feel like there's a lot more happening. You know, like, you see Taylor and Steven evolve. You see Belly evolve a little bit. It's like, towards the end of the season 2, I don't think she's being as selfish as she was at the beginning.
No. I really like how... This is also something, like, I will give Belly on this. Like, I feel like the volleyball coach was in the wrong on this. When she asked to go back to volleyball camp, and she had to, like, apologize, and she's like, I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm like, but I'm sorry. She had all the excuses in the book to fuck up at their finals and shit like that. Someone who is basically a family member was dying of cancer, and she was watching it happen. Like, I'm sorry. No, you can't come to the volleyball camp. Like, that teacher was being completely unreasonable.
No, I agree too. I think that was
And even
excessive.
if a part of it was her and Conrad breaking up, it doesn't matter. Like, you're a rational adult and you could look at the overarching picture of what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way that she didn't know being her coach.
Oh, absolutely. And like considering also, I know when you look back at it as an adult, it's not a big deal, but that is essentially her first heartbreak also. So it's going to be hard for anybody when you have your
Well,
first heartbreak, no
between
matter
that,
how old you are.
between your essential aunt dying of cancer, at that point, I don't know that she was dead, that Susanna was dead yet, but she was pretty close.
They don't specify, but I remember when she's talking to Jeremiah about it, and she's saying like all she choked because all that was on her mind was Susanna. So I think she
Yeah,
was like
and that's not,
towards the end of her life.
and that is not cool of the coach. Like, as a teacher, like, I couldn't imagine being like, oh, well, someone died, that sucks. You fucked up our high school volleyball game. Like, grow up.
Oh god, no! But it was regionals. It's like, oh well.
Oh, well. Like, and you know
People
what?
like
And
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
tell her when to
And I'm
die.
sorry.
Sorry.
She, as the coach, as the adult in the situation, when a teenager is telling you, I'm fine, you fucking know better and be like, okay, no, you sit this one out. You be here, but you sit. Like, you're not doing this play. Like, when you can see something's taxing on a kid, like, come on. And I'm sorry, like, once you're in sports or any sort of those extracurricular activities, you become so close to that teacher or the coach or whoever it is. Like, you're in each other's lives so much. It's not just a teacher-student relationship. Like, you guys become a family. And so, I'm sorry, you don't know what's going on. You're full of shit. And so, I didn't love that. Like,
No,
that really bothered me.
that
That
was
really
not
bothered
okay. I agree with you there because even like I'm gonna relate to my real life for a minute here. When I lost my grandfather in 6th grade, that was, I believe, the first death that I really experienced that like hurt me. My 6th grade teacher could tell that it was bothering me, like as he was dying. Like she knew when it started because she saw that I changed. You know that my grades were slipping, like all of those, like what's the word? The
me. Those
cues, you
little
know.
key signs, yeah.
Yeah, that, and she's like, something's going on, so to where she like called me in after class one day. I told her what was happening. She called my mom, she called the school counselor, and we worked through it. But like she never took it out on me. She was just like, what's going on? Like, this isn't like you.
So that's where I really felt I didn't like that. Like, being a kid who has gone through that at school, like a similar
Yeah,
situation.
it's
None of my
hard.
teachers had ever acted like that. And then as an adult, being an educator, like, you become so close with your kids. Like, you know when something's going on. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
not just like randomly one day they completely act different. It's a slow, like, gradual thing. And you can tell. Like, I'm sorry, you can tell when a kid comes to school and they didn't have enough food and that's why they're acting off. Like, you get to know your kids. And so
Absolutely.
that just really bothered me. I did not like that. I think that was like my biggest, like, of the season.
Yeah, no, that was not okay in the slightest. I completely agree with you because she
And the
is like
way
an
that she had
educator.
to, like, yeah, the way she had to, like, beg essentially to be back on the team. I'm like, no. And I'm sorry. Like, adults always teach kids that everyone makes mistakes and it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them and do better. And she had already made the effort prior to that to try to fix things, and this adult was just being fucking petty. And, like, ugh.
It didn't feel that deep to me because at the end of the day, it was just like a game. I know it was regionals and everything, but like,
But it's high school sports.
yeah,
Like,
I would get it if it was like a collegiate sport, you know, and you were
yeah, I
like,
was gonna say, it's not like the NFL, like, Super Bowl, okay?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't know. Like, it's just not that
Exactly.
serious.
It's not that deep,
Not
but
that deep, but
yeah.
yeah.
So that's
That's my one pass for Belly, okay? I don't hate on her all the time, guys. Just most of the time.
it's like me with Conrad.
Exactly. We all have our moments, and these are
Oh
ours.
god.
But I cannot wait to start watching season 3. I think I'm gonna watch season 3 tonight. We'll start watching it.
Yes, do it, and you can suffer with me for the last few episodes.
Well, I don't know. It takes me forever to watch shows. So
That's
by the
true.
time I get to the last episode, because I got Demon Slayer this week, so do you.
I know, I'm so
So
excited.
that's where my priority is gonna be.
Same.
Not this.
No, that's completely fair. I completely understand that. You can like be slow with it because you do have the time because it's not finished. So, but yeah, that is.
I probably will.
That's all I have for this season.
Recap. Yeah. I don't know. I really enjoyed season 2. I definitely think season 2 is better than the first season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I liked it too because the characters really got to like grow into themselves, and like you saw character developments, you saw relationships develop more. It's just yeah. I enjoyed season 2 also. I liked the characters that were in it. I love Sky.
Me too. Sky was my favorite.
Sky was great. Sky and Cam Cameron.
Oh, Cam Cameron. I hope I hope his time on the whaleboat went well.
Me too. Oh, he deserved it.
Yeah, he did. But I think that's all we have for our season 2/book 2 recap of The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's Not Summer Without You.
Yep. It was.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode, Two Piece Potting. Follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. And just a quick shout out / thank you for the 200 followers on Instagram. That was really cool. We hit that this week.
We did. It's still growing too. Like we woke up with like 70 new followers like one day, and I was like, "Oh my god, Sam!"
It was insane. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But we appreciate every single one of you guys. Like it's crazy.
So much.
If I could hug to little old us talk about random nonsense.
I hope you find us amusing because we find ourselves amusing.
Most of the time.
90%.
90%. But yeah, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We post the most on Instagram. And you can watch our pod on YouTube. So like and subscribe there. And we have our podcast available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Apple Podcasts. I feel like I'm missing some other ones.
No, I think that's it.
Oh, I got it this time.
Yeah. Those 4 streaming and YouTube. So
go listen, give us a listen, and next week we'll have some book content for you guys.
Well, okay. This is book content. We'll just be working on an actual book.
Okay, but we're going to talk about a book only. Book only. We're talking book only next week.
Not book and TV show.
Yes. But thank you guys for your love, for your support, and for listening to our utter nonsense.
Yes, we love you guys so much, and we're just happy you guys enjoy us.
Very much so.
This really was just something for fun for us. So.
Yeah. And I'm glad it's turned into something that other people also enjoy.
Me too. It means the world to us because we know, as you know, I just give you my unfiltered thoughts. So.
Yeah, same. I feel like sometimes I'm a little too harsh, but
it's fine.
That's what the people want. Or they don't, but that's what they're gonna get.
That's why we say it's just our opinion.
Yes, it's just our opinion, and they don't have to be the same.
Nope, not at all. But thank you guys for tuning in.
We will see you
guys next week. Bye.
Bye.